Hi guys, it's Claire's and welcome to another video tutorial with me. Today we are going to be learning how to do these really cute artsy looking peonies. Very simple and perfectly themed for the fall season that is upon us. If you're new to my channel, just a quick reminder, I put out, not a reminder if you're new obviously, but I put out Procreate videos once a week typically, and this is just for fun, just little doodles to kind of get our artistic juices flowing. And I also put out watercolor videos, so if you guys like that sort of thing, please do check the rest of the channel out, check out some of my videos, and subscribe. Alright, so we are ready to begin, and I am going to walk you through the color palette really quickly. So I have set a preordained, yes, color palette already. It is right there for me. Check the description below and you can find a download link for this. So you can just download that and then we can work on this together. All right. All right, so first thing we're going to do is I have this light blue background set already. I have created a new layer and I've called it Peony. And we're going to start off by selecting the darkest color, which is the very first deep plum purple color right there. And then for brushes, we're going to go ahead and select oil paint under painting. And I have it set to about 7-8%. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start by creating like a rough circle. Just like that. And then we're just going to color this in. And once we finish coloring this in, what I want to do is pay special attention to the border of this. And I want to give it more of an organic shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some waves almost. Or little curves to kind of represent the organic nature of the petals of the peony. And because this is like an oil painting slash watercolor, like very artsy style of illustration, we want to have or see these nice dry edges that are happening here. All right, so once we've done this, I'm going to go ahead and select the next color, which is going to be the second color in there, and we are going to select the brush which is under inking, and it's called Syrup. And I have this set to about 4%. Is that good? Yeah. You know what? Let's not select the second color. Let's select the third, just so that you can see it better. So I've selected the third color. We have Syrup, and then we're just going to go ahead and create these little lines, kind of arc-shaped lines around. And I'm kind of starting soft on the tip, then pressing down and then trailing off. And I'm just going around like this. If you watched any of my floral videos, this is kind of what we do with the brush. They're called C strokes or comma strokes. And yeah, so I'm kind of keeping them close-ish together and trying to put them kind of like if you've got two here, then you have one in the middle, alternating, I guess, the repetition of where we place it. And we want to leave like a little bit of a center in there. Now that we've done this, we're going to go on and select the next color, which is like the pinky purple. I'm going to increase the size of this just a tad bit to like maybe 10%. And these we want to place just like here and there around where these have all, like where we've placed the first set of strokes, and we're doing the same stroke. So it's going to be a lot of repetition in this manner, and you'll see why. So we're kind of doing these strokes all over, giving it some good alternative coloring, some in between, some kind of in the background, and closing in just ever so lightly. Now that I have that, we're going to move on and get the lightest color, which is the light pink. And we're going to go back down to a lot smaller, and we're kind of highlighting these again, same like how we've been doing all along, just in between here and there. We want a good mixture of color all over, spread out nicely. And as soon as we are done this, we're going to go ahead and get the smudge tool, which is right here. And once we have that, we're going to make sure that we are selected on painting and we're selecting oil paint. And then we're zooming in, and then you're going to see exactly how this blends in as soon as we start. Like, this is the main part where we kind of go in and start doing a little bit of blending and getting all these colors mixed up nicely. So let's see, I think I have it set to like 17-ish, and we're just going in. Okay, that's too much. Lower it down to maybe 6. Yeah, I think this should be good. And we're just going to go ahead and do the exact same strokes. Okay, no, much lower. 3%. We're doing the exact same strokes, so we're going over, we're doing these strokes just over the areas where we have laid down. You're kind of outlining what you've already put down. Okay, so it's okay if you don't get the whole stroke to smudge. The idea is to have some areas fairly not thick, potent, or not smudged. Wow, I can't even think of words. And some areas to be really smudged in and kind of blending in with the colors that we have. So now another paintbrush that you could use is, I think you can also use turpentine. It'll give you a similar effect. And you just kind of go ahead and just blend these in. You're just blending these in nicely. Maybe I'll slightly increase the size so I get a better cloudy effect here. And you can see how, like, especially around the edges, it's like giving us a nice blend, and it's really having this beautiful mishmash of colors to create this painting effect. Oh, I'm on low battery. So we're just going to go all the way around. And now once we've done this, you can see that most of the light pink has kind of disappeared. So we want to go ahead and add a little bit more of that light pink in there. So essentially, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of repetition in this. So we're going back in, we're going to get selecting the brush, we're going to go get inking syrup. Make doubly sure that it's selected. Select the light pink. We're just going to go slightly lower in size, maybe like 3%. No, maybe slightly higher. So now we're just going to go and just add these little strokes. And once we've done the light pink, we also want to get in some of the darker hues, because these are the darks and lights that give us that whole idea of shadow, light. Oh, we didn't blend in that guy here. So these are integral to our painting. So I'm going to go in and get some of the dark tones right there. And I'm just going to add some. The area where you want there to look like there's more petals or folds, that's where you're kind of adding the dark color. So I'm going to have a lot more at the bottom than I am at the top. just so I can make it look like there's a lot of layers. So you can see I've got a lot here. And then back again, we go to the blending tool and we're just going to keep on blending it some more. And this time, let's lower that a little bit. And you can see this time around, I'm not fully blending in these new strokes that we've added in. I'm kind of leaving some unblended, like half and half. So it might take a little bit of playing around and undoing. Undoing is just like this button right there before you can get that in. We need to blend in this guy here, which I forgot to blend in previously. And as soon as we are good with the amount of blending that we have, we can move on to the next step. And so for the next step, we are typically just taking the yellow that we have happening right there and syrup. No, let's go back to painting and pick Oriental brush. And I'm going to do a quick circle just like that. And then we're selecting the black color that we have, lowering down this brush size and just kind of doing a couple of dots in there. Now you can even, yeah, Oriental is fine. And notice that I'm just being very rough with this. If you want more solid dots, you can always pick syrup and create that. It's entirely up to you. And now we're just going to select that second brush and just give it, create some additional strokes on the inside that look similar to what we've been doing previously. And this way you're kind of adding these additional tones and creating a lot of depth in your painting or your illustration. I'm going back to the darkest color and I'm just going to add, we're going to select oil paint this time, and I'm just going to add some strokes, lowering the size. If you want to give like a rough edge to your center, you can kind of just go in with this and paint around it, or even just use the yellow instead of using the purple. That can also work. And this way you get that rough look, right? Just like that. So you see when you zoom out, you get that really pretty effect, floral effect of this peony with lots of layers. Now the one thing I would do, because I did mention about the layering, I would just go back in with your syrup brush, which is it under inking? Yes, syrup. And selecting the darkest color, you just want to add and enhance certain areas of your petals, and these don't need to be blended. So I'm just going to enhance some of these areas, make it look a little more like some good detail happening in our flower. And that's perfect. You don't need to add much more than this. Yeah, that's good. And so now we can move on and create the leaves. The leaves are super, super simple. I have the colors set up already, and again, you can just fluctuate between syrup and painting, which is oil paint or Oriental. I'm going to pick Oriental, and picking the darker brush, I'm going to go ahead and create a cute little leaf. Let's put it to like 3%. No, let's leave it back to 2. So you just kind of create your pretty little leaf. Okay. I don't like that leaf, so I'm going to redo this again. But this time I'm going to use oil paint. Yeah, let's use oil paint. And I like the loose strokes that it's giving me. So I'll do some with oil paint and then some with the other brush that I mentioned. Oil paint and Oriental, yeah. So just doing very simplistic looking leaves. And then going back to Oriental. We're going to kind of paint this in to perfect these shapes a bit more. And I just like to add a couple of like leaves that are kind of hinted leaves. And now we can switch to the lighter color and just keep on adding some detail within what we've painted, right? And you can even add an extension like a stem for these ones that you've done ever so lightly so that it doesn't look too thick like I did over there. And I'm just adding some color on like half of it. And that's it. That's pretty much the whole peony with the petals. Now, I have done it all in one on one layer, and all you need to do is just duplicate, and you can kind of create your own little composition just like I did. And then if you want to take off some of these leaves, just making sure you're selected on that layer, click on this little squiggly guy and select it, and then just delete. That's one way, and then you can just quickly fix this area here. Right? That's it. And then same thing for this side. Or you could just create the leaves on a different layer, and this way you don't have to go in and do this additional detail. But whatever floats your boat, whatever it like suits you better. And so now you can duplicate these several times and have your own little composition. And yeah, that is it. That's how I kind of got the other composition going. Or that's how I created the other composition. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel if you like videos like this and even watercolor. Stay tuned for next week. Next week I am going to show you how to do the rest of this, which is going to be the tiny little flowers, getting this cute little background, and perhaps making this like a wall hanging print or even a card. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll chat soon.